Hey everybody, Linwood here from noblemanagement.pro, and coming to you today with a video that talks about data centers. Are they good? Are they bad? Let's find out. Let's get into it. And I'm always on TikTok or Instagram or some kind of social media, and I've been hearing a lot of really super negative kickback about these data centers, and I feel like the data center, frenzy or catastrophe or whatever you want to call it, whatever side of the aisle you're on, whether you're for them or against them, I feel like it's another one of these scare tactics that we're getting into. Back in 2006, Al Gore released a movie called The Inconvenient Truth. And in it, he said, if we don't change our ways, if we don't do this, and if we don't, pay for all these carbon footprints and blah, 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 whatever. And I don't have any kind of opinion on that. But what he said was, if we don't change our ways, we're going to be underwater. New York, you see the traditional New York picture with the Statue of Liberty, and she's got, water up to her armpits. And I feel like it's another one of these scare tactics. And to me, it really underestimates human ingenuity. Because, whenever something like this comes up, like data centers or something new like, human flight or anything like that, you don't go from concept to an F-14 fighter jet when it comes to human flight. You go through all these steps, right? And that's what innovation is about. It's just making things better over the years. And I know some people have the argument that these data centers are in my area, and they're super loud. And I think I'd be mad too. I think I'd be upset, with data centers being loud. But we have to make room for innovation. We have to leave room for that. Okay, because like I said, no invention is perfect to start off with. So they're here. They've been here for a while. What do we do now? Like what's the next step? Because I think one side is all about the hype for you got to have data centers for AI and all future innovation, and the other side is data centers are going to destroy communities and environment. But there's a third conversation I think we need to have, and the question is not whether innovation should happen. The question is, how do we scale innovation responsibly while protecting people, while protecting communities, and while protecting, stakeholders all at the same time? So, with everything that's going on, are we following the standards? Are we measuring impact? Are we listening to stakeholders? Are we building responsibly? Because just as many bad things that are out there as far as negative feedback about data centers is I can give you for every negative comment about data center, I can give you a positive comment. They power modern life. They enable innovation. They create jobs. They improve business efficiency. They support healthcare and public safety, and they can drive innovation, and they strengthen national competitiveness. So I just think we're asking the wrong question, because data centers are here. There's nothing we can do about them for right now, in the immediate future. So if you're protesting all against it and you're against data centers, I get it. If you're protesting for it and you want data centers, I get it. But I think the real question is not that we need to get rid of them or we need to keep them. I think, so how do we scale this innovation responsibly, again, while protecting the people, the communities, and the stakeholders in that arena? Because some people will jump on these different statistics and actually just go wild about, they consume so much energy. And I did the research. I went on to a website called EIA.gov. And what it is it stands for Energy Information Administration.government. It's a government site. And it tells you where all the energy is coming from, how much energy the United States is producing each year, and how much we're expending, how much we're losing, where it's going, all that good stuff. So what I did was I went to this EIA.gov, and I'll link it down in the comments. I'm not going to show you a bunch of posters and pictures and stuff like that because I want you to go look for yourselves, and I want you to really take a hard look at what all this information means. So when it comes to data centers, they're considered a commercial entity. They're not industrial. They're not governmental. They're considered a commercial entity. And in 2025, okay, the U.S. under commercial energy consumed 9.9 quadrillion BTUs, British thermal units, ironically, which was only 13% of the overall energy that was consumed. So we produced 107 quadrillion BTUs. We consumed 96.26 quadrillion BTUs, but the commercial industry only consumed 4.95 quadrillion BTUs, which is 7.5% of the overall United States consumption. We are in no shortage of energy production. And to break it down even further, if you look at the commercial aspect of it, 8% of it comes from oil. 38% of it comes from natural gas. 3% of it comes from renewable energy. 4% of it comes from coal. And the other 51%, that comes from electric power sector. So all in all, the statistics that they're giving you about data centers is incorrect. Not only is the electrical data incorrect, but the water data is incorrect as well. Because yes, they do consume a lot of water in the local area, but most of the data centers, 73% of the data centers, use a closed loop system. In other words, they bring in 1 million gallons of water, whatever it is, and they'll continuously use it. So they'll run it through the system, they'll cool it, they'll cool off all the machines and everything, and it goes right back into a cleanser, and then it goes back into a cooler, and then goes back into the machines. So it's a closed loop system. So they only use that once. So when I first started this video, I said that this video was more like a scare tactic, like global warming and climate change kind of thing, because on both sides of the aisle, they want to scare you. They want to scare you so much. Well, if we don't have innovation, we're all going to blow up. If we have too much innovation and we're using too much water, the world's going to dry up in 3 years. Like, it's just a scare tactic. So I'm not for either side. I'm just telling you there's other questions to be asked rather than left or right. Go find out for yourself. Stop jumping on these crazy trains that are one way or the other without doing your research. That's all I got to say. If you have any questions about this, hit me up down in the comments. I appreciate your time. Visit my site, noblemanagement.pro, and I will see you on the other side. Remember, stay compliant.